Okay, hello, hello, hello. We are doing a new company today, and we look at new companies all the time, but we usually look at crypto companies. So this is a stock market company that is listed, and we love to see it because this is something different and new, and this is all about investing in this channel. So I love to show you kind of new opportunities. This is a paid promotion, but we only do paid promotions here because we want them to be spending their money to get their word out there, right? If I'm investing in a company, I definitely want them to have a small allocation of their entire profit and revenue into getting the word back out there, right? So if they believe in it, why wouldn't they put money into it? And that's exactly what they're doing. So Boosh plant-based brands. And as you know, we're in LA here, and there's nothing better landscape-wise to show you kind of how important and what a good kind of market fit that plant-based brands are right now. And I'm really, really excited because this is something that I use personally to get into this and show you this, because this is very topical and this is very, very much on brand for kind of where this entire space is, at least on the West Coast. And I know other major cities too are seeing a huge boon in plant-based products. So good food, good mood. Boosh on the plant-based comfort food mission. Plant-based diets might be better for the planet, but finding fast and convenient meals can be challenging until now. And they are so right. So I was a vegan for about 6 months years ago. And when I did that, it was so incredibly hard to have the time dedication into my meals, right? I would come home after work and be exhausted, and then have to sit there and cook and cook and cook. And you would think, okay, it's plant-based. Like, how much do you have to cook? A lot is the answer to that. A lot. And you also have to source these ingredients, and then you have to read the back of the label to make sure everything is proper. And then you have to, wet mix as well, because all the flavors are new for the most part. You don't grow up on them. So it is a definitely point of contention to not have that convenientness of it. Until now, right? Boosh has developed 6 100% plant-based heat and serve bowls for 1 and entrees for 2, which is so perfect and so convenient. I would have been all over this had they been out when I was a vegan. Society in general is becoming more health conscious. Absolutely. I mean, the Game Changers documentary on Netflix came out all about plant-based diets, and there are just study after study about plant-based things. It's huge on Joe Rogan to kind of have debates about plant-based and everything else like that. What I love about plant-based, though, it's like, even when there's debate in communities about, is this as healthy as people say it is or whatever, it's never like this is bad, right? And it's so funny because I'm like, with all the other like food and everything that people eat in the chain, there's so many, things about how it's potentially dangerous or how this is bad environmentally or whatever. And then in the plant-based diet, it's always like, well, it might not be as amazing as everyone says it is. I was like, yeah, but it's still fantastic, right? Anyway, so I always think that's really funny. Society in general is becoming more health conscious, aware of our environment and global impact based on the lifestyle and food that we choose. And this is something that as more generations grow up, it's just becoming more and more popular. So I see this as a future-based play as well as a right now play, right? Because in the future, it's just going to get more popular. We see it in Gen Z demographics. We see it in the research, and it's not going anywhere. Many of us grew up eating primarily a meat-based diet, for sure. However, the barrier has been reduced based on the growing research of the health benefits and accessibility to healthy alternative meals that help individuals find a compassionate, ethical, and environmentally sustainable lifestyle. It was created for one simple reason, this entire company. We wanted to help health-conscious consumers meet their goals by providing convenient plant-based meals for people who found it challenging to prepare meals from scratch. And number one, very cute. I love a couple things. I love the branding here. The branding is fantastic. Just the aesthetics of the entire meal. Also, I love that it shows right there 310 calories per bowl, which is nothing. That really is nothing. That's like a snack. I've had snacks worth more than that, calorie-wise. And the fact that it just shows calorically what it is, and the branding is I think really, really beautiful. And you have to think, okay, what's it going to look like, or what does this look like on a shelf? What does this look like in competition to everything else? And I think it kind of blows away some of the other competition. So the founder has always been an avid cook and entertainer with a history of owning successful wine bars and bistros. So definitely the history of the founding team and the founders have been in this industry for a long time, so they know exactly what's going to happen. They know the surprises. They know what to look out for. She's received food-oriented awards for 20 years and continues to win awards where there's driving plant food innovation and setting a standard of high quality and healthy frozen meals. The foray of the owner into the food industry was not by chance. She's been enjoying sharing new recipes and healthier alternatives with family and friends for years. She would often deliver frozen or hot meals within her close circle, who encouraged her to expand her great flavors to a broader audience. Love that, right? It was born out of a need, and I can tell you definitely, I can attest to that. There is a need for that. This led her to create a small batch in her tiny kitchen and distribute weekly to local customers all over Greater Vancouver. This experience was invaluable as the locals inspired by her desire to prove and provide healthier meal alternatives. So that's where we started the company from. Now there's a way to comfortably have fun and a conscious lifestyle without having to inspect every meal for gluten. So true. I have a friend who is gluten-free, and the things that she has to do is insane. Animal-based or GMO-based ingredients, because more than likely, if you're into this plant-based lifestyle and everything else like that, you're going to want those other things looked at. You're going to want those GMOs out. You're going to want those gluten-free options, etc. Has a line of products made for every person and every occasion, so you can go right there and find the store near you. What makes it extra good, and also, check out the stock price. Right, the entire market is down right now, so I'm looking at, if there's things that you like, then this is a great time, in my non-financial advice opinion, right? Because this is not financial advice, but for me personally, this is a good time to buy, right? Love seeing the dips, and if you believe that something is in it for the long term and it's currently trading at a discount, why wouldn't you? One of my favorite examples is like houses and real estate. If you buy a house for $100,000 and then someone comes to you tomorrow and says, oh, the market's down, it's only worth $50,000 now, can I give you $50,000 for it? You'll be like, no, because the location hasn't changed. The house hasn't changed. The structure hasn't changed. You wanting it hasn't changed. So the only thing that's changed is what other people tell you it's worth. And I think that's really silly, because there's infrastructure and there's a structure of you liking something, and someone tells you, oh, it's at 6% down today. Okay. And, not going to change my thing. So once again, 100% plant-based, gluten-free, no artificial flavors, no GMO, Canadian-owned, food lover approved. Proud to be in alliance with Beyond Meat, which is burning up the investor market right now, and Buy BC. You can go right there. I would just join their mailing list, because I love to kind of lurk into the ecosystem before I invest, or even, while I'm investing. I love to go, check out the news. I put Google alerts on some of the companies I follow. Look at the reviews and everything. Look at the contacts. And for investors, you can go right there and connect, because you would be an investor, right, if you're buying there. And you can see all the videos that they have, their investor presentations. You can contact them, and you can go through and add your 2 cents to everything. So you can see all the videos that they have right there, and you can stay connected. And for investor relations, you can reach out and inquire as to what they're doing. Check this out.
What's it like being an emerging player at the forefront of a potential trillion-dollar industry? That's trillion with a T. That's a projection for the plant-based food market over the next 30 years. And Boosh Food is on a plant-based comfort food mission to take advantage of that massive opportunity.
Boosh makes plant-based, ready-to-eat meals that are also gluten-free and non-GMO. And our goal is
CEO, you found it right there.
Food more accessible and more delicious, and make sure everybody's eating their veggies. People that are eating Boosh are people that want to eat more plant-based meals, not necessarily vegans. I used to be in the restaurant business, and friends were always calling me and asking me for recipe ideas and texting me, what should I make for dinner? I quickly realized we wanted to do a product line. As the popularity grew, we knew it was time to scale up and launch into a full facility.
Boosh's bread and butter are their fresh frozen Boosh bowls. And of course, being vegan and gluten-free, they don't contain any bread or butter.
We have 4 Boosh bowls. 2 are pasta-based and 2 are rice-based. And our pasta dishes are made with organic brown rice pasta. And our rice bowls we make with brown rice, quinoa, hemp, chia, flax, and pumpkin seeds. The current lineup we have are frozen, but we've also got a new line of products coming out in the chill section that you don't even have to thaw.
Boosh Foods CEO Jim Paculus talks about the unbelievable growth.
Let's hear from the CEO now.
For the plant-based food market in the coming decades.
A tremendous amount of capital is going to be transferred from the animal protein-based world to the plant-based world.
Yeah.
We're seeing reports up to $1.4 trillion from Bloomberg by 2050. I don't see this being a fad. I see this truly being a staple. And by going to a plant-based meal and a diet, it helps everybody. It's a win-win across the board.
Boosh Foods products are currently on the shelves of 375 stores across Canada.
It's a lot.
The company is planning an aggressive expansion into the U.S. market.
Frozen is the #1 growing category in the U.S. and plant-based is, I think, #2. So combining those is wonderful. We're really excited about the growth opportunities there.
CEO Jim Paculus explains what makes Boosh Food so attractive to potential investors.
Our closest competitor, market valuation, is about $80 million. We're at roughly $20 million. Combine that with an extremely seasoned management team, both in the food sector and the public markets, and with our expansion in the U.S., and I believe it makes for an extremely compelling story for anyone interested in investing in the plant-based sector.
For Boosh Food, this seismic shift toward plant-based eating is perfect timing.
Yes, completely agree. And love that they talked about the market universe, how big this could be, and love that they're not expanding into the U.S. yet. The U.S. is by far probably the biggest market for vegan and frozen foods. So I think that if you're investing on things to hopefully spike in the future, they still got a long way to run and still got a lot of growth to do and accomplish. So thanks so much for watching. Ask any questions over there with that email section, and we will bring you more excellent content just like this coming right up.